There comes a strange silence after 60, not the peace of a quiet morning, but a silence that feels like something inside has paused, a stillness in the body, that where movement once felt effortless, now feels like waiting for something that won't come. You sit on the toilet, again, minutes pass. Then half an hour, nothing, but this silence, it isn't just in the gut, it's in the soul, it's in the heart that no longer runs after the world, in the breath that no longer races, in the dreams that no longer chase applause. It sounds like a minor thing, but for millions over 60, it's a daily battle, not just with the body, but with dignity, with comfort, with control. You don't talk about it, because who wants to admit that they can't even do what they used to do without thinking? But here's a truth no one tells you: constipation isn't just a digestive issue, it's a signal, a quiet cry from a body asking for help, reminder that movement, life, joy must keep flowing, or we begin to dry out inside. The elderly in every ancient culture, from the east to the west, knew this: when your body stops flowing, your soul begins to rust. And yet, there is hope, not in harsh medicines or synthetic pills, but in the quiet power of nature's forgotten foods, gentle, nourishing, wise. Just like you, in this journey, we will explore 5 foods that don't just relieve constipation. They restore life's flow. Each one is a story, a symbol, a key to unlocking something you may have lost, but never truly forgotten. This is more than a health tip, this is a return to your rhythm, to your roots, to your inner current. So sit back, breathe deep, and come with me. Your body has waited long enough. There was a time when fruit didn't come in plastic packaging, when sweetness came not from candy, but from nature, and when grandmothers tucked dried figs into cloth pouches, not just as a snack, but as a gift of love. Dried figs, soft, wrinkled, modest, much like the hands that used to pick them from ancient trees. But what if I told you, these forgotten fruits carry a power, one that the elderly body desperately needs? After 60, your digestion slows, your colon becomes more resistant, your system, once automatic, now needs support, and figs, sweet, earthy, and rich in fiber, offer exactly that. Just 2 to 3 dried figs contain up to 5 grams of dietary fiber. That's like giving your intestines a broom made of silk, not harsh, not irritating, just gentle sweeping, helping your stool form better, helping it move. And they're rich in sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol that draws water into the gut, like rain falling on dry land, like emotion softening a hardened heart. But figs do more than ease constipation. They feed your gut microbiome, those tiny invisible helpers that regulate digestion, immune function, even your mood. I remember an old woman I met in a Mediterranean village. She was 87, skin like old parchment, eyes bright like sea glass. Every morning, she'd sit on her wooden stool, sip warm water, and eat 2 dried figs. Slowly, reverently, it keeps everything moving. She smiled, and I believed her. She hadn't touched laxatives in 30 years. No pills, just figs, water, and time. She told me, when your body stops flowing, child, so does your mind. Figs remind me to keep life sweet and moving. You see, we don't just store food in our bodies, we store emotion, trauma, stress, and for the elderly, years of unspoken things, grief, regrets, and untold stories, that they lodge in places we cannot see. Is it any wonder the bowels become heavy? Dried figs are not just laxatives, they're reminders that what is stuck can be released, that sweetness can still enter your system, that your story still has flow. How to use dried figs the right way: soak 2 to 4 dried figs overnight in warm water, eat them first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, drink the soaking water too. Do this for 7 days straight. Watch what happens, not just in your belly, but in your heart. In a world rushing forward, you deserve a ritual that brings you back. Something simple, something ancient, something sweet. Bring back the figure, bring back the flow, bring back a part of you that knew how to let go. There are things in life so small, you overlook them, like the wrinkle behind your knee, like a whisper in the wind, or a single seed in the palm of your hand, and yet, the smallest things often carry the deepest truths. Take chia seeds, black. Tiny. Lighter than air, you'd barely notice them in a spoon, but when they meet water, they expand, they transform, they become something larger than themselves. At age 60 and beyond, your body is like a river during dry season. The colon dries, the intestinal walls harden, and the inner flow of digestion slows, like a stream clogged with stones. But chia seeds, when soaked, absorb up to 12 times their weight in water. They become gelatinous, like soft pearls. And when you consume them, they act like natural moisturizers for your bowels. It's not just about moving stool, it's about softening the path, restoring lubrication to a system that's lost its oil. But chia doesn't stop there. It's also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, and magnesium, which relaxes muscles, including the colon, and soluble fiber, which feeds your gut flora like rain feeds flowers. When you eat chia, you're not just helping your body move, you're helping your nervous system calm, your mood lift, your brain connect. There's a story told by native peoples of Central America, the ancient Tarahumara runners, who could travel hundreds of miles on foot. Their secret? Chia. They called it the runner's strength. But for the elderly, it's not about distance, it's about resilience, inner movement, endurance of the soul, even in dry lands, even in tired bodies. Something small can hold an ocean. How to use chia seeds for constipation relief. Soak 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in a glass of water for at least 20 to 30 minutes, or overnight. Drink it first thing in the morning. Or mix it into warm oatmeal, yogurt, or herbal tea. Do this daily for consistent, gentle relief. But here's the real key: drink plenty of water alongside it. Without water, chia becomes dry mass. With water, it becomes life. Isn't it funny how a tiny seed can teach us so much, that when life feels small, when your world feels shrunken after 60, you can still expand, you can still absorb joy. You can still transform. You don't need to be loud, or large, or young, you just need to be open, like chia in water, and what flows in will expand what flows out. Chia seeds remind us that even in silence, there is power, even in stillness, there is preparation, even in smallness. There is an entire ocean waiting to rise. Forgiveness is not something we give to others, it's something we give to ourselves, a silent release, like an exhale after years of holding in pain. And sometimes, that forgiveness comes in the form of fruit, in the lush green corners of the earth, under the wide open sky where rain falls warm and sweet, grows a tree that never screams for attention. Its trunk is soft, its fruit is humble, but its power is profound. This tree gives us papaya, a fruit whispered by healers and old grandmothers alike. Eat it in the morning, and your stomach will thank you all day. Deep within the papaya lies an enzyme named papain, a natural compound that breaks down proteins, aids digestion, and cleanses the colon like a river after rainfall. For people over 60, the body slows down its production of digestive enzymes, the stomach becomes forgetful, the intestines lose their rhythm, and constipation arrives like a silent thief. But papain, found abundantly in ripe papaya, acts as a gentle reset button. It breaks down hard-to-digest meals, it relieves bloating, it softens stool. And most beautifully, it teaches the body how to let go, without struggle. Papaya also carries vitamin C, vitamin A, and flavonoids, all known to reduce gut inflammation and protect aging cells. It contains fiber that nurtures the friendly bacteria in your colon, the ones that create harmony inside. And just like forgiveness, papaya doesn't act violently, it doesn't force, it doesn't push, it invites movement. In the forests of Sri Lanka, an old monk once sat in stillness, unable to eat. His digestion had failed him. He was in pain, spiritually and physically. Villagers brought him herbs. Nothing worked. Then one day, a young boy came with a single slice of papaya. "Eat this," he said, "but only if you're ready to let go." The monk chewed slowly. The pain didn't vanish instantly, but something inside began to move, both in his bowels and in his heart. In the days that followed, the monk wept, not from pain, but from release. forgiveness had entered him. Through fruit, how to use papaya for constipation relief. Choose ripe papaya with orange skin and soft flesh. Eat half a papaya in the morning on an empty stomach. For deeper effect, sprinkle with a little lime juice. Avoid eating it with heavy dairy or meats. Papaya is best raw, unforced, and simple, like peace. As we age, constipation isn't always physical. Sometimes, it's emotional. We carry unspoken regrets. We hold on to resentments. We refuse to let go of habits, of stories, of grief. But digestion is more than food. It's about what you swallow from life, and whether you can truly let it go. Papaya is more than a tropical fruit. It is a teacher of gentleness, a healer that asks nothing but this: will you let yourself move again? So tomorrow morning, peel back the soft skin of this golden fruit, and take one bite, not just for your body, but for your soul, because to move freely, you must forgive, and papaya is forgiveness in flesh. There are foods that shout, and there are foods that whisper. Sweet potato doesn't need to speak loudly. Its strength is in silence, its healing in humility. And for those over 60, who have tasted the noise of life, maybe what we need is exactly this quiet liberation, before pills, before probiotics, before pharmaceutical digestion aids. Our ancestors turned to the soil, and from it, they pulled up an orange treasure, rich in fiber, potassium, and slow-burning energy. Sweet potato, in Okinawa, Japan, home to some of the oldest, healthiest people on earth. Sweet potatoes are sacred, not as luxury, but as daily bread. They are consumed not with indulgence, but with respect. After 60, the digestive system often slows down. The colon becomes sluggish. Transit time, how long it takes for food to pass through, can increase by 50 to 70%. This causes constipation, gas, and a general feeling of being stuck. But sweet potatoes contain insoluble fiber, the kind that bulks up stool and pushes it through the colon like a soft broom. They also have soluble fiber, which feeds healthy gut bacteria that produce butyrate, a compound that soothes the gut lining like warm oil on sore joints. This dual action, sweep and soothe, makes sweet potatoes one of nature's best remedies for age-related constipation. Sweet potatoes don't demand, they don't process, refine, or brag with labels. They grow in silence, in dirt, in stillness, and when you boil them, mash them, or simply roast them with a pinch of salt, they return the favor by healing you gently. In a world chasing superfoods with shiny packaging, sweet potato simply says, I'm enough. In a small Peruvian village, there was a grandmother who could barely walk. She hadn't had a proper bowel movement in days. Her face was swollen, her spirit low. The doctor brought her medicine, but the local shaman brought her something else, a bowl of steamed purple sweet potatoes, sprinkled with a few grains of salt and love. Eat slowly, he said, and feel the earth moving through you. That night, she slept deeply for the first time in weeks. The next morning, she walked to the river, smiling, unburdened. She didn't just digest her food, she digested her past. How to eat sweet potato for daily gut liberation. Best time, morning or lunch, when the digestive fire is strongest. Best method, steamed or roasted. Avoid frying or excessive butter. Portion, half to 1 medium sweet potato per day is enough. Enhancement, pair with a sprinkle of cinnamon to boost blood sugar balance. Tip, always chew thoroughly. Digestion begins in the mouth, and if you eat it with gratitude, the healing begins long before it reaches your stomach. Constipation is often not just physical, it's the weight of things unsaid, the accumulation of what we refuse to release, disappointments, losses, regrets. Sweet potatoes, in their humble simplicity, help soften not just our stool, but our hearts. They remind us that healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it roots, quietly, in the dark, and liberates us without spectacle. So next time you feel heavy, not just in your belly, but in your spirit, boil a sweet potato, break it open, breathe in its warmth, because sometimes, freedom doesn't come from effort, it comes from humility. Life is a symphony, and within each of us, a hidden orchestra plays, the rhythm of digestion, the melody of movement. As we age, the music sometimes falters, notes get stuck, the tempo slows, and the gut's gentle song turns into a distant echo. But nature gives us a baton to conduct this symphony again, a humble grain called oats. For centuries, oats have been a staple for many cultures. From the rolling hills of Scotland to the vast plains of Asia, they are not flashy, no exotic flavors or colors, but a dependable friend, rich in soluble fiber, especially beta-glucan. Oats gently slow down digestion to allow more nutrient absorption, and more importantly, they soften stool by absorbing water, making bowel movements smoother and easier. For seniors, who may struggle with dry, hard stools, oats act like a soft drumbeat, nudging the digestive system to wake up and perform. Beta-glucan from oats is a superstar. It feeds the good bacteria in the gut, encouraging the production of short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, compounds that heal and nourish the colon lining. This creates a harmonious environment, reduces inflammation, and balances the entire digestive ecosystem. Moreover, oats help regulate blood sugar and cholesterol, offering benefits beyond the gut, a true all-rounder for aging bodies, just as music needs rhythm. Our bodies need routine. Eating oats regularly at breakfast or dinner establishes a daily pattern, reminding the gut to prepare, respond, and move. It teaches us patience, and the beauty of gentle consistency, because aging gracefully is not about rushing, it's about finding your own tempo, your own peaceful rhythm within the chaos of life. In a small village nestled among the misty highlands, lived a woman named Ailey, who had struggled with constipation for years. Doctors gave her medicines, but relief was fleeting. One morning, following the advice of her grandmother, she sat by the fire with a bowl of warm oatmeal. As she ate slowly, listening to the crackling hearth, she felt a calmness settle inside her, a sense of harmony. Days passed, and the gentle rhythm returned to her gut. Ailey realized it wasn't just the oats, but the ritual, the mindful act of nourishing herself daily. How to use oats to support your gut health. Choose whole rolled oats or steel-cut oats for maximum fiber. Cook with water or plant-based milk for a light, digestible meal. Add fruits like berries or sliced bananas for extra fiber and sweetness. Avoid instant oats with added sugars or artificial flavors. Eat oats regularly, ideally at the same time each day, to build routine. Remember, it's not just food, it's a daily ceremony of care for your gut and your spirit. Our guts sing to us in whispers and signals. Constipation is a pause, a missed note in the symphony. Oats help us listen again, to feel the gentle vibrations of life flowing through. And as we tune in, we discover that health isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about embracing the quiet music of living well. So, tomorrow morning, take a moment by your window, prepare a warm bowl of oats, and listen. Let the gentle sound within your gut guide you, back to harmony, back to life. After the long journey, through forgotten routes, humble meals, and quiet rhythms, something remarkable happens. The flow returns, not just in your body, but in your spirit. When your digestion awakens, it's more than just relief from constipation. It's the return of movement, the gentle, essential flow of life itself. Like a river freed from ice, your energy begins to travel again, your mind clears, and your heart remembers how to beat in time with the world. For those over 60, every small step toward health is a victory. The foods we have explored, figs, chia seeds, papaya, sweet potatoes, oats, are not magic potions. They are humble teachers, guiding us back to the basics. Back to the natural flow that sustains us, and as the flow returns, so does joy, vitality, and the quiet confidence that comes with self-care. Dear viewers, if you've walked this path with me today, know this: your body is wise. It remembers how to heal, and with patience, love, and the right nourishment, you can reclaim the flow of life, at any age. So take a deep breath, trust in the process, and celebrate every small victory. If this journey touched your heart, if you learned something new, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps us create more content to empower seniors worldwide. Comment below and share your own experiences. What foods have helped your digestion? What rituals bring you peace? Let's build a community of wisdom, health, and love, where growing older is not a burden, but a beautiful chapter of life. Remember, when the flow returns, life begins anew. You are not alone on this path. Together, we move forward, one humble bite, one gentle step at a time. Thank you for being here. Until next time, take care of your body, nurture your soul, and keep the flow alive.